The ThrillseekerLA, this MK2 version, and I must say sounds even better than the first one, is among some of the really good plugins that this developer, Variety of Sound, makes. As I said in some of the previous videos, I realized that he had updated his plugins to be 64-bit and even added VST3 support to some of them. So I really had to get over these because I really love the way these sound. Now, they might not be suited for every purpose and every usage, but when they do fit onto something, they really do. And that's not a rare occasion, mind you. So I'm not saying that it's really hard or easy to find where they fit, but when they do, they really do. And the sound they give, and this compressor in particular, with this distortion, saturation it has included, is really, really nice. So let me play this song for you with it applied and without it. Now we're getting with it. And pay attention to the dynamic control here. Now this is almost out of the box, and the way it rides the gain, it's really, really, really nice. Now I'm using this on a master track to show you what it sounds like, but you could use this on anything. So this kind of smooth compression could be good on vocals, on instruments, on buses. I do like the way it sounds on this master track. And what I like the most about it, as I said, is the way that saturation is implemented. So coming from the ratio, which can be 3:1, 10:1, I really like even this hard ratio on it. I like the way the attack and release react, so the way it's really smooth in riding the signal. And of course, the tube emulation, the loudness factor, and how it treats the highs and the lows. And this interstage portion, where it's trying to emulate really good aspects of the transformer. And all in all, the entire plugin, the way it treats the stereo image, so all about it, I really like it. It might not fit every single mastering chain, but honestly, I can see it fitting a lot of them. So the parameters are really simple in this plugin. We can go in ratio from 3:1 to 10:1, so from a compressor to a limiter almost. We have this loudness switch, which, as the developer says, it alters compression and saturation behavior according to equal loudness curves. We have the tube emulation, which adds the tube distortion byproducts, and you can see how much it does so with this LED here that turns from green to yellow to red, trying to show you approximately where you are with the distortion. And then we have this interstage, which, as I already mentioned, it's a typical sound coloration of a transformer coupled circuit. So it's not just saturation, it's different sorts of artifacts, and of course that spatial audio representation as well that I mentioned. So all of those as far as distortion goes. Now we have the drive, which actually drives the signal harder into the threshold, so it will get compressed more. We have the attack and release as standard. We have the low cut for the sidechain, so the signal being fed into the sidechain circuit, into the detection circuit, can be low cut, so that we are not feeding too many low frequencies. We have the dry wet knob right here, where we can actually decide to mix in some of the dry signal or mix in some of the wet signal into the dry. So this is the mix knob in between the non-affected and the affected process signal. And of course, finally, we have the output knob, which controls the output gain stage. This helps us balance out the output so that once we bypass the compressor, we hear only the differences in the dynamics or maybe in that spatial handling and saturation, and not the volume jump, which could fool us in it sounding better or worse. Now on the VU meter right here, we can see the input signal value, output signal value, which right here is quite similar. And we can see the gain reduction happening. So we can see how many dBs are we actually gain reducing, how much are we attenuating the signal. And once again, I'm going to bypass this. And it sounds really nice even without all those distortion elements, just like this. That dynamic control is really appealing to me. Although I do like the extra harmonics and everything that happens in the background. So, as I've stated in the previous video, you can load that into the plugin doctor and see exactly what it's doing, what the saturation looks like. But none of that matters if I actually like it or don't like it. So being able to know what's inside the plugin is really important. But if it does create a result that you like, that's more important than anything else. So check it out. Check out ThrillseekerLA. It's free to download, and we'll link to the developer's website underneath this video. So far, I have recorded over 80 hours of lessons to help you become a professional producer. And now, thanks to Levin.org, I can offer them to everyone completely free. Check out the free music production certificate at mixingacademy.com.